Hey everybody, it's Chance here with another episode of PARANORMASIGHT The Mermaid's Curse. Last time we learned that Yuza is an immortal, which, and they did it by, I guess, I didn't test it, but I guess the amount of times that our storyteller would tell us he died would depend on how many times we died in that intro sequence, of which I only died twice. Or maybe it's like, or I only died once? No, because him getting his head cut off counts as one. You know what, I'm not going to think about it too hard about it, I think. But yeah, we learned a lot of lore about Sato. She is almost at the end of her 800 years. And it turns out Yuza isn't dead, actually, so... Alright. So, now we have an extra scene leading to memories of last summer, and then a continuation after his head gets cut off. So... this is afterwards. We know there's a version of events that go well. But let's just start with this. Accepted fate, Yuza Minakuchi. Several days after the night of the tragedy, Yuza is lost in his thoughts, alone on the beach. It's been 1 week since the night Kamishima was struck by the tragic storm of the mysterious attacks. All in all, it resulted in 16 casualties, 7 missing, and 20 buildings totally or partially destroyed. A horrific calamity. It caused a huge stir when news broke out about what happened. The culprit responsible for the massacre is still unknown, and the investigation is ongoing. I went diving this morning for the first time since that day. No one's taking their boats out right now, so it was just a short dive from the shore. I'm looking at the shore. Sometimes I think about plans that were made to have fun here, and wonder how that would have gone if things hadn't turned out the way they did. I guess there's no point in thinking about that now, though. This suspicious pair apparently came all the way from Tokyo. It seems they have business with me, so they're currently waiting for me to finish diving. Apparently, I'm going to be taken into custody. Oh! We still don't know who the culprit upon the massacre, the so-called assassin, was. It was Kikuko. The investigation is proceeding under the assumption that it was one of the people who went missing that night. But it seems like it's not making much progress. Among other things, they're having to conduct it behind closed doors so word doesn't get out that it was caused by a curse. The same night as the attack on Kamishima, a massive storm caused the curse of the raging waves broke out in the sea to the south of the island. It seems the bronze mirror my mom left wasn't enough to hold back the curse itself after all. Many of those who attempted to flee the island by boat were caught in the storm and are still missing. The storm descended on Kamishima soon afterwards, and the island was swept by harsh winds and lashing rain for 3 days straight. No one was able to leave their homes, and it caused blackouts and landslides across the island. Several buildings were also completely destroyed. Everyone was made painfully aware just how fearsome this curse of the raging waves is. Combined with the horror of the massacre, the entire ordeal has left a deep scar on those who remain. There's still an eerie rumbling coming from the sea, and no one knows when another storm might strike again. Everyone here is still too on edge to take their boats out to fish, and the ferry service to the island is currently suspended as well. Naturally, no one paid me any mind when I headed out to dive today. Oh, yeah. Many people tried to escape the island by sea that night, but most of them ended up being caught in the storm and going missing. Could the culprit behind the massacres be among them? The pair of Tokyo apparently come to Kamishima to try and find a way to dispel the curse of the raging waves. They were extremely regretful about failing to stop the storm and went around apologizing to everyone in its wake. It seems they're still planning to find a solution though, and have asked for my cooperation. The storm struck before we could even mourn those who were killed, and left the town in tatters. Things are barely functioning right now. Everyone is somehow managing to get by on the aid we've received, but it's apparently going to take years to fully rebuild. Some people fled Kamishima the moment they could, citing what happened as proof of some sort of divine punishment. But most of those who stayed are already trying to put this tragedy behind them and look to the future. They've managed to get back on their feet 5 years ago too, so I'm sure they'll be fine this time. Although they've been bombarded by accusations and demands for them to take responsibility, the Wakamuras have been busy doing what they can. Following news reports on the calamity, there was an uptick in unsavory rumors that Kamishima is cursed in some way. But perhaps because of the current cult craze, a bunch of people have expressed interest in visiting once the restoration work is done. The mail-order service for souvenirs that was set up to help fund recovery efforts has been flooded with orders. Well, that's good at least. I don't have much to show for my dice today. My catch has been pitiful to say the least. Looks like I really am homeless without Zami. Whoops. Azami and Tsukasa's bodies were found in front of the lighthouse. There's no way of knowing what happened to them now. But I'm told Azami was found collapsed on top of Tsukasa, as though he'd tried to protect her from to the very end. I wouldn't have expected anything less from him. Unable to bear the tragedy that has befallen Kamishima, Sato Shiranami apparently gave herself over to the assassin and left the island with them. I don't know if whoever sent the assassin got what they wanted in the end. I'm probably never coming back. But either way, they took the chance of seeing her again with them. I doubt we'll ever meet her again. After all of that happened, I'm once again the only one left alive. Well, I don't know if alive is the right word. I did get my head cut off once by the curse after all. But to be honest, I don't have it in me to care anymore. I couldn't fulfill what I'd set out to do, despite swearing I'd see it through. I have nothing left. It seems my fate is in the hands of that pair from Tokyo now. I don't know what they have planned for me, but whatever it is, I intend to accept it. Thank you, everyone, for everything. Goodbye. Oh. Yeah, that one's, I mean, this is the worst fate, you know, he ends up having to go to them and being, you know, in that suspended state of death and undeath. It's so sad because he's so young too, you know? I mean, we're definitely toward like the end of this game, so I'm curious because basically most of the like mysteries have opened up, and I know like I was like convinced that the voice talking to Sato was someone else, but it's likely Yamashina, right? I'm not sure. This is really weird. Approximately 1 month ago, having only just returned home to Kamishima, Yuza Minakuchi goes to the roof on Kantakisho ruins for some time alone, only to find Sato Shiranami there. There's someone already here. How unusual. Oh, you scared me. I didn't think anyone else would come here. Oh, I take it I'm not welcome. I didn't think there would anyone else be up here today either, so that makes two of us. So, who are you? I'm Yuza Minakuchi. I recently moved back to Kamishima. Ah, so you're that old friend of Tsukasa's, was it? Yep, I don't think we've spoken before. You're Sato Shironami, right? Mr. Wakamuro's relative? Nice to meet you. Wait, how do you know who I am? That's kind of creepy. You're pretty much the talk of the town. I'm pretty sure almost everyone here knows who you are. Is that so? I'd rather not stand out. It's a small island. Word spreads quick about who comes and goes. Sorry, but could you leave me be? I don't feel like talking to anyone. I see. Well, I just came here to enjoy the view alone. I'll just be over here looking at the sea, so I won't be a bother. Will that work for you? Fine. That's awkward. Plus, from what, that conversation with Sato from before made it seem like, you can tell when another immortals can tell when they meet someone who's an 800-year immortal. So, like, Yuza might not know it yet because hasn't been that for very long, but she has. You know, so you can see all the way from Issei Bay out toward the Anshu Sea from here. It's a great view, but that doesn't mean I want to share it with anyone. Thankfully, most of the islanders don't come up here that often, and so I can sometimes come here to unwind. There are lots of reefs in this area, and the tide is strong, so it can make for tough sailing. But from here, it looks as tranquil as can be. They built a rest stop for any tourists who come here, but it doesn't seem much use. Coming up here always helps clear my head. Now then, I'm back here after quitting work after just 3 months. I went to a boarding school on the mainland for high school, so it's been about 3.5 years since I've actually lived on Kamishima. Nothing's changed. It's almost as if time itself has stopped here. You could say that's one of the good things about living on an isolated island such as this. But for me, that just means it's as uncomfortable as ever. Ever since the disaster 5 years ago, people haven't been exactly subtle about avoiding me. Maybe it's a good time as any to start seriously looking into my mom. The processing plant I worked for wasn't a bad place or anything, but working there didn't feel that fulfilling either. I just happened to come across it when I was looking for a job. I've never really been sure what I wanted to do with my life. Azami had always had a clear goal of becoming a fisherman. To be honest, I've always felt a bit jealous of that. After losing my parents in the disaster 5 years ago, people began not only avoiding me, they also avoided talking about my mom as well. At some point, I honestly began to wonder if there was any point to me being alive. I've only made it this far because of my gran and Azami. I would never ever forgive myself if I made the two of them sad. They're the only reason I'm still here, drifting through life. Not that there's much else I can do here. I've got to find some work here soon, so they won't worry about me. I've always been good at swimming, so I've actually been thinking about an Ama diver as an option. I haven't gone swimming since the disaster, but I wonder if Gran would be happy if I followed in her footsteps and became an Ama diver. Maybe I'll start looking into it in secret. Though I'd only really be able to do it during the diving season, so I'd have to find something else. I originally came back here to take care of Gran after her injury, but her condition's improved a lot recently. She can walk around by herself now and hasn't even been handling the cleaning and the laundry. I wouldn't be surprised if she said she was planning to go back diving. Kamishima women sure are made of sterner stuff. But I'm still worried about her. You never know what could happen after all. It seems she's been watching a lot of TV recently. Perhaps she has to spend a lot of time at home. She seems a bit bummed out that she doesn't have anyone to talk about to her shows about, though. Azami was really happy to hear I was coming back to Kamishima. He even helped make sure my return would go as smoothly as possible. I can't thank him enough. He's a true friend. On top of that, he's hardworking and kind. It's easy to see why so many people here like him. But he's involved in a bunch of stuff around the island now. He's so much busier than he used to be. It goes without saying we can't mess around like we used to anymore. Tsukasa's also put some distance between herself and us since she started high school. I guess she's a bit self-conscious about things now. I miss hanging out with her, but maybe this is just a part of growing up. Still, it's no exaggeration to say that it's all thanks to Azami that I'm able to live here like this. I won't do anything to let him down. Right then. Time to think of how to make my own way through life from here on out. Sure, I have plenty of time, but I don't want to be a burden for any longer than I have to be. On the contrary, if there's some way for me to make a graceful exit and draw the curtains on it all, maybe it would be for the best. The same thought's been lurking in my mind ever since that day. What's the point of living if I'm just going to cause the trouble for Gran and Azami? Time to think of how to make... Okay. Well, hey! Hey, I was in my own brain, thank you very much. Whoa, when did she get here? Made you jump, did I? You did. Of course you did! Anyone would be startled by someone sneaking up on them like that. Haha, at least you admit it. You consider that payback for before. Anyway, did you need something? Oh, right. I can't focus with someone else around after a while, so I want you to leave. Huh? Fine. Fine. How much will you pay me? Money, is it? That's all you bureaucrats think about. Money, money, money. Very well. A string of 3,000 cash coins, and that's my final offer. You won't get a single drop more out of me. What? Who even has ancient currency like that anymore? And wasn't that a bowie for Imagawa Yashimoto's head? How much money do you have? Don't worry. It's only about 60 yen in modern currency. Damn, inflation's pretty nuts. 60 yen it is, then. Here you go. I do feel bad you only got measly 60 yen out of the deal, though. So you can have this Kamishima Maru keychain I picked up over there as well. Pushing random stuff you picked off the ground into others, eh? But still, who could have thrown such a cute keychain away? I'd feel bad if I just left it on the ground, so I'll let you off with this. I'll be on my way, as promised, then. Sorry for the interruption. Sure. Huh? I see. So that's how it is. Is something wrong? No. I was just thinking it must be pretty rough. Yep, pretty rough, alright. It's none of my business, though. Bye! Whoa, how am I supposed to walk away after you say cryptic stuff like that? But if no answers are forthcoming, I'll simply have to be on my way. Later. They just had to show the first meeting of Sato and Yuza because they're both 800-year immortals. Alright. Vision of the future. Yuza heads out with Azami to go diving before he suddenly mentions something he must do. Before returning to the island, the pair must go to a certain location at sea. He must fulfill his destiny using the knowledge I've acquired. So, what's the important thing you have to do, Yuza? Sounds like it must be a pretty big deal. It is. I just hope you'll believe me. Listen, and don't fly off the handle. Please forgive the interruption. I have an important announcement to make. The moment you have been waiting for has arrived. Everything is ready for you to proceed. On August 7th, upon returning to Kamishima after his dive, Yuza Minakuchi embarks on the fight of a lifetime. Unbeknownst to him, at this precise moment in time, a slew of predicaments would await him everywhere he turned. For this really important thing he has to do, that is, of course, preventing the tragedy of Kamishima from coming to pass. The advent of the 400-year-old curse of the raging waves draws nearer Kamishima with every passing moment. Even so, do try to remember that if Yuza's true aims are to locate a mermaid and cover the truth about his mother, will Yuza Minakuchi succeed in overcoming these challenges and fulfilling his objective, you ask? That is entirely up to you, and the actions you have chosen to take from this moment forth. That means it's time for you to make a save game. Thus concludes my announcement. I wish you good fortune. Thank you. I'll try my hardest. What? You think Kikuko is plotting to work a curse that'll massacre the island? Yes, you may find it hard to believe, but I'm sure about this. You're gonna have to give me a second to take this in. That's way heavier than I was expecting. I mean, a curse? I know I told you about the Tomokazuki and all, but that was a red herring. How did you even find out about this? Have you got any proof? Well, I saw the future with my own two eyes, but I'm afraid I don't have any proof I can show you right now. You saw the future? Yuza, this is some kind of prank. You better cut it out right now. Seriously, this shit isn't funny. You're just fooling around and I don't know if we can be friends anymore. If you are just. Do you really think it's easy for me to call someone I'm on friendly terms with a murderer? I couldn't say something like this unless I was dead certain. I need you to trust me on this, Izami, before it's too late. Oh man, you're not making this easy, Yuza. I can't just... No, I understand. I won't ask you to believe me until I can present you with solid proof. Until then, I still need your help. I can't just sit back and let this happen. Okay, I won't try to stop you, but I'm not doing anything drastic till I'm sure we're doing the right thing. That's all I needed to hear. Thank you, Izami. But for real, what's gotten into you, Yuza? What do you mean? I know you're headstrong and all, but this is way beyond what I'd expect from you. It's like you're a totally different person. Come on, you're exaggerating. I'm the same old Yuza I've always been. Did he jupe his soul? Huh? What are you two doing here? And what's with that getup, Yuza? Don't tell me you've been diving. Kikuko, do you have a moment? I heard you were heading out to the northern shore to fish on the bay today, so I came to find you. Where'd you hear that? I only just decided that this morning. I didn't even tell anyone. We're on the northern side of Kamishima. Not many people come here to fish. I can tell Izami is trying to believe in me. That's a good start at least. Kikuko is looking at us suspiciously. But I guess that's to be expected. He's surprised you're here alone, after all. Well, what's this all about? If you just want to talk, you can wait till after I'm done fishing. Right, this is where it all begins. This is my chance. I have to find a way to change the future. But I don't have any evidence, and I doubt I can just talk Kikuko out of this. You don't do something like that on a whim. Whatever her motives are, they must be powerful. Even if I somehow manage to get her curse stone, there's still the risk that whatever destructive impulse that has a hold of her would drive her to make the tragedy happen in some other way. That is why my best bet of containing the situation is to try and distract her. I'm going to change the future, one step at a time. There's no rush. After all, since we came here instead of heading back to the port, things are already different. Well, we know it leads to a happy ending. Mockingbird number 11 discovered. I'm never good at this part, but that's life sometimes, you know? Mimicking Midnight. You found 5 mockingbirds. You can now access the mockingbird relationship chart from the story start screen. Zombie, what the fuck does that mean? Yuza, are you sure about this? Just so you're clear, we're leaving the talking to you. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. So, Kikuko, when you left the island, you did some kind of office work, right? Huh? That's true and all, but why are you asking? Oh, I was just wondering if you might have preferred your life back then. I mean, you must have had more opportunities to meet people and go on dates and all that. Stop right there. As if I don't hear enough of that as it is. What's that got to do with you anyhow? Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. I was just wondering if you've still kept in contact with anyone. Sure. A few people. Just a few. Would you say any of them had a big influence on you? Huh? Seriously, what's this all about? Oh, nothing really. I'm just curious. So were you really off diving? Are you sure you should be doing that? If Chie finds out, she'll give you an earful, no doubt about it. Don't I know it? Seems like everyone thinks I bring this island bad luck just by being here. Yuza... Well, sure, some folks might say that, but it's not like as if you've done anything to deserve that kind of talk. I don't see a problem with you becoming an Alma diver myself. I appreciate that. Just today, plenty of folks told me not to go diving because a storm is on its way. But when they don't talk sense, I just ignore them, and so should you. I've been wondering, are you unhappy here on the island, Kikuko? Huh? What makes you think that? I don't know. I just get the feeling you're not planning to stay here as an Alma diver forever. You normally play the fool, but turns out you're pretty sharp, Yuza. The truth is, I can't help but thinking of the future. If you can earn a decent living as an Alma diver if you know what you're doing, but all these old rules and customs tend to get in the way. I've been trying to change them here and there, but it's no good. Everyone's too stubborn to listen. I see, no luck, huh? Mark my words, nothing's ever going to change around here, and just between you and me, as much as I love being surrounded by nature on the island, the culture here the culture here just isn't for me. So that's how you feel. Honestly, I'm about ready to break ties with this place. Not that anyone else needs to know that. Don't go spreading it around now. Frankly, I had no idea you were so interested in diving, Yuza. Listen, working for a company wasn't exactly a huge break in my career. All I did was pour tea and answer the phone. Huh. You've been passing Kamashimaru hand mirrors around to everyone, right? I have, yeah. Sounds like someone keeps their ear to the ground. So, how many have you given out? Who's got one already? I don't know. I haven't kept track or anything. But if I had to guess, it'd be about 20 or so? Why though? You want one too? And so I'll get you one later. Oh, no thanks. Don't worry about it. Huh? Suit yourself. They're pretty sweet little items if I do say so myself. Anyway, Yuza. Did you really come out of here all the way to chat? Something like that, but I've wasted enough of your time. Thanks for hearing me out. Come on, Izami. Let's go. If you're sure. See you later, Kikuko. Right, I know we just got back, but there's no time to waste. I've got to track down and collect all the Kamashimaru mirrors that Kikuko handed out as soon as possible. Huh? Why? If I'm right, those mirrors are actually the targets of the curse. No way, seriously? Still, man, all this cursed business is a bit much. Look, given what people think of me, I'll have a hard time handling this on my own. I'm going to need your help, Azami. I guess we'll have to try to convince everyone that the mirrors are defective or something, and we'll better not let Kikuko find out what we're up to. Yuza, I want to believe you, and I'd like nothing more than to help you out. But before I lift a finger, there's something I've got to know. Alright. See, I've got a pretty good idea of what made you change out of the blue like this. You do. You were diving before, and you came face to face with the Tomokazuki, and something happened, didn't it? You haven't been the same since then. And coming to think of it, does this have to do with your search for a mermaid? You're right. I should have told you the full story to begin with. I've been in such a rush, I got ahead of myself. You're right. Something did happen to me, and I'll tell you all about it right now if you want to hear. I'm all ears. First of all, tracking down a mermaid is still my end goal. That hasn't changed. At least something's still the same. But what I'm trying to do right now started when I found out the danger Kamishima is in. I realized it's something I had to do something to prevent it. Are you with me so far? Sure, if I knew the island was in danger, I'd want to protect it too. But how did you find out about that anyway? Earlier you said you saw the future. When did that happen? Well, it was when I encountered the Tomokazuki. The moment our hands touched, everything went dark and the future unfolded in front of before me. Huh, so it was kind of like a vision from the Tomokazuki, a warning? That's exactly what it felt like. A stream of images filled my mind all at once, together with a rush of understanding. It's like they were imprinted into my memory. I don't know how it works, but I believe what I saw, and I know what's going to happen here in Kamishima if I don't do something to change it. So that's what started all this, huh? Yuza, did you know there was a Tomokazuki there? Is that why you picked that spot to dive? No, it's like I told you. I was hoping to find a clue there since that's the spot where I encountered a mermaid once before. I never would have dreamed I'd end up seeing a vision of a tragedy like that. For all I know, this might have nothing to do with mermaids at all, but now that I know about it, I can't just forget, can I? Of course not. Now that I know the full story, you can count on my help too. So seeing Kikuko is the culprit, I'm guessing we need to collect those hand mirrors to save everyone? Yeah, but she's not the only threat. There's more to this. More? There are actually 2 calamities on the horizon for Kamishima today. 2? You gotta be kidding me. The first is the massacre caused by Kikuko's curse, and the second is the curse of the raging waves, which has been brewing up a violent storm for the last 400 years. It's going to hit the island tonight. Huh? Now you've lost me again. I can't keep up. For starters, why is this all happening on the same day? Dunno. I get a feeling it's just an unfortunate coincidence. And there would have been nothing we could do about it either, but since I've been forewarned, I have a chance to prevent it. I'll explain the rest on the way. There is no time to lose. We have to track down every last one of those mirrors. Oh, down to Yumiko and Arno. So while that's happening... Oh yeah, let's check... Oh, there's lore. There's lore about these birds. Okay. So here's the ones we found. Maverick Mandy, the darling of the Bamboo Breakers dance team. As fickle as she is flirtatious, her tendency to toy with birds other than her current beau causes relationships within the team to become more tangled by the day. Her heart is easily stolen by birds with an unexpected side, and the most recent object of her affections include a bad boy with a cute face and a girl who dominates the dance floor with her tempestuous moves. Mandarin duck, female. Black kite, kiting killer. The strategist of the rebel roast delinquent crew, he can often be seen circling the skies over their territory, ever on the lookout for intruders. Those unfortunate enough to be spotted by him will find themselves greeted by his signature dive bomb attack and grappling claws. He and Fastlane Frigate of the Bamboo Breakers dance team go way back, having fostered a mutual respect for each other's prowess during their sea racing days. I see. Don Heron is a gray heron. The maverick leader of the tight-knit delinquent crew, Rebel's Roost. Temperamental by nature, he often flares the impressive crest on his head to intimidate intruders on his turf. Although long-term rivals with Ocean Outlaws Hooligans gang, in recent days he's also found his feathers ruffled by the increasingly bold antics of Blues Brutal's Beaks, pushing his patience to the limits. Booby Bravo, Brown Booby. A steadfast senior and member of the Ocean Outlaws hooligan gang, accustomed to living in a group, he's quick to step in and smooth things over whenever he hears a dispute erupting among the gang's ever-growing ranks. Second to none is his loyalty to their leader, and he's quick to tell him whenever he finds promising new feeding ground. Hell Mina, Mimikin Mina, or Minase? I don't know. The chirpy and cheerful member of Blues Brutal Beaks hoodlum gang, having been taking a liking to tit-for-tat in his rambunctious ways, he'll spend his time regaling anyone who will listen with tales of tit-for-tat's exploits, made all the more colorful by his skill at mimicry, a habit which has only contributed to the diminutive delinquent's infamy. Wow. Best buds in love, bad blood? Question mark? Between two birds we know nothing that aren't involved yet? This is a different set of lore. Okay. Okay, let's do Yumiko Onora Bridge investigation. While pursuing another case, Yumiko and her partner find out the mermaid corpse discovered in Futamigawara is that of a woman named Azusa Somikawa. The duo try to find out what to do next. This large bridge spanning Onora Bay is Toba City, and Toba City is known as Onora Bridge. I hear that the waters of the bay are rich in nutrients, making them ideal for oyster farming, and you can see the rafts used floating in the bay. Oh, oysters. Very nice. Oyster harvesting only begins in October, though, so I'm afraid they're out of season right now. Oh, darn it all. I knew Issei lobsters were only available from October, but to think we won't be able to eat all oysters either. Please don't look so sad, ma'am. We can always come back again another time. Notable for its distinctive white arch, Onora Bridge is a 196-meter bridge spanning Onora Bay in Toba City, Mie Prefecture. It was built to have no columns, allowing ships to pass beneath it with ease. The contrast of its white arch with the blue sea and sky and the green of the mountains paints a picturesque scheme, making it popular with tourists. The bridge takes its name from its role as a crossing over Onora Bay, but the name is written from the characters for hemp, sung in the old waka poems as a vessel for divine spirits. As such, the kanji characters that make up its name differ slightly from those used to write Onora Bay. Vision ability. Odd. Any immortals? Mockingbird 07 discovered. We'll see where he fits into the picture. Blues Cruise. I'm getting better at this, Soto. Soto gives off the impression of being all business, but he often goes along with any suggestions I make to stop and take in the scenery. Despite appearances, I think he quite enjoys quiet moments like this. Now then, as much as I'd like to relax and enjoy our surroundings, shall we take this chance to review our current situation and talk more about our next move? A sound idea, yes. First, Detective Ide contacted us this morning, informing us that a mermaid corpse had washed up in Futagamura. However, when we went to investigate, we discovered that the corpse was in fact of Miss Somikawa, whose whereabouts we were looking into. She had been transformed into a fish by a curse. Quite the troublesome development. She was shaping up to be a key figure in a number of incidents. With that in mind, the most likely culprits are the two foreigners we ran into the day before yesterday in Ijika. Yes, one of them was seen taking Miss Somikawa out to sea by boat. I regret not doing more to pursue them at the time. It's possible we could have saved her if we had. No, she would have, she did that, willingly and basically, put Avi in a position, where he felt like he couldn't refuse. So, I'm sorry. That was poor judgment on my part. No, she would have drowned herself one way or another, unfortunately. Then the other half of the pair was the young exorcist with ties to paranormal affairs. I believe her name was Circe, yes? That's also quite worrying. I wonder what she could be up to. If it turns out she's been using curses on ordinary people, we at Paranormal Affairs will probably be held responsible. I like, because it's like, we did a lot of the Yumiko stuff pretty early, and now we're coming back after everything else, and it's just like, oh, you guys don't know shit. You guys don't know shit. Though, I doubt the Bureau would agree to act as a custodian for someone who would behave so recklessly. I'd like to believe some manner of circumstances are at hand, yes. Well, I suppose if anything happens, I can just get the higher-ups to take responsibility. That's what higher-ups are for, aren't they? Being responsible for their subordinates. I think you'll find that's a saying used by superiors as a goal, not by subordinates to shirk the responsibility. Oh, Sato. Oh, Sato. Despite her abilities, I doubt the girl would be able to use the curse of the Forsaken Fish. Regardless of who wielded it, I think it's safe to say a curse stone was involved. Agreed. We have two people from the same town falling victim to the same curse, after all. I think it's reasonable to assume that this was due to overzealous use of a curse stone. I mean, yes, but that's not... It's very funny. They don't know shit. Yes, the first victim was Tamiko Suma, who succumbed to the curse 2 days ago. The second was Miss Somikawa from yesterday, and there probably won't be any more. The state they were found in hasn't been publicly disclosed, so they're still being officially treated as missing. Still, a curse stone housing the curse of the Forsaken Fish, Is something wrong? The curse of the Forsaken Fish is one of the curses mermaids can use, you see. For it to have become a curse stone, the mermaid in question must have experienced overwhelming resentment. An example might be if they were killed by bearing a powerful grudge against someone. That sounds like it would be a rare event indeed. Why do I get the feeling there was a mermaid who died like that, though? Who was it? It feels like the name's on the tip of my tongue. Could it be a memory from that time? Although I imagine many of your older memories have faded by now. Wait. Is Yumiko... As high as they died. And we know one of them... Nagame and Sobai. Is she Nagame? Sobai stayed, because we know that. Because she loves her husband. She loves her husband. Age. Secret. I have to try and remember. What was the name of the mermaid who died while harboring strong feelings of resentment? I literally just brought this up. This was on me. I did not. Hayase. Hayase. That's right, her name was Hayase. I can't believe it. I'd completely forgotten, but it just popped into my head. So there was a mermaid who died like that, was there? There was. I finally remember. One of the mermaids who lived near Taishima 400 years ago was named Tayase. She was captured during the invasion of Taishima and died after being brutally tortured. This is the first I've heard of mermaids living near Taishima. Okay, maybe she's not at all related to those three mermaids then. Never mind. Oh, right. Your ancestor, Harukage Tsukimikado, must have left them out of his records. The reason Taishima was invaded in the first place was to find those mermaids, you say? I see. I was unaware of the exact reason for that invasion. It's understandable. A deliberate effort was made not to mention mermaids in any of the records left after the fact. I suppose hiding the map inside a mermaid mummy was intended to be a metaphor of sorts. I can't believe I forgot something so important. Because she can see mortals, but she's saying she doesn't have a spirit sense. But she clearly knows a lot. But she's not an 800-year immortal. But if that curse stone is related to what happened on Taishima 400 years ago, it likely has some link to the Curse of the Raging Waves as well. If we can view the memories contained in it, we will be able to learn more about the Curse of the Raging Waves. I wonder. Could the keepsake Harukage left behind using the map and have been the curse stone housing the Curse of the Forsaken Fish? I see. That's certainly a possibility. In that case, it's not unthinkable someone might have gotten a hold of it recently, and there's a high chance it was those two foreigners. Alright, we've narrowed down our focus. It seems a change in priorities is needed. Let's find the curse stone for the Curse of the Forsaken Fish as soon as possible. That should be the most efficient course of action, I think. Agreed. I mean, that will be the best way for them to get the info they need, you know? Just checking if there's, like, anybody around. After discovering the mermaid found in Futomigara, this morning was in fact Somikawa's transfigured corpse. We headed to Ijika town for further investigation and are now on our way back. It's looking increasingly likely the pair of foreigners has the curse stone. Yes, we did just go to Ijika to see if we could find any leads on where they could have headed. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find anything promising. I wonder where they could have gone. We also still don't know why they approached Miss Somikawa. Could they be after the mermaid's relic? If I'm not mistaken, that girl, Circe, did mention the relic. Were they looking to take it for themselves, but where would they have headed afterwards? Kamishima. Kamishima, that's where they are. What? Kamishima? I thought we decided we weren't going there today. We failed to find any promising leads there yesterday, after all. No. Something's telling me they went to Kamishima, and I get the feeling this is a hunch I shouldn't ignore. Alright, let's head to the port in Toba City. We'll catch a ferry to Kamishima from there. I like how the game kind of uses the fact that it's a game, to be like, well, you the player have experienced all of this. So you can kind of put suggestions into the characters' heads, due to that, because like spirits exist. So a player must be some kind of spirit, you know, because we're viewing the story and we're allowed to impact it. And I think that's always fun. Okay, so he's a part of this crew. Blue and white flycatcher, Blue's Cruise. The singer-songwriter in charge of producing pumpin' tracks for the Ocean Outlaws hooligan gang. He can be found at the same spot every day, jamming to his repertoire of songs. He recently hit it off with Tit for Tat, who admires his work, but he remains unaware of his new fan, as is a notorious delinquent. Oh, he's just a singer. He's just like, yeah, we hanging out. Has no idea there's all this gang stuff going on. Wow. Possessions. After arriving on Kamishima, Avi and Cersei continue to ask around about mermaids, but this garners suspicion, and they find themselves unable to gain any information. Well, so much for that. Even after everything we went through, we've got nothing to show for it. It's almost astounding how little we've managed to learn, like some sort of reverse miracle. Worse, I think the rumors spread and now everyone's avoiding us. This is a pickle. I can't even bring up mermaids without the islanders looking at me like some sort of odd foreigner who's lost all his marbles. And for some reason, mentioning Mari Minakuchi makes things even worse. Did people hate her or something? Us hearing her makes them recoil with undisguised disgust. They did, actually. Yes, I noticed that too, though your way of asking probably doesn't help much. Well, how about we take a break from investigating and go for a little sightseeing instead? Seems like there's a shrine and a lighthouse around here, so we might as well drop by. Count me in. To be honest, the way people are treating us has started to bum me out. Maybe heading to the lighthouse to unwind a bit wouldn't be such a bad idea. Let's go to the jetty! No! We must go to the jetty, and that's that! Don't scare me like that. What's gotten into you all of a sudden? The waves of my yearning soul keep crashing against my chest, insisting I seek out the shore. Right. Sure. The usual, then. Cersei, do you know I'm here? Well then, off we go! Okay. Oh, looks like we've got ourselves a spunky young lady here. Maybe we should have a word with her. All right. This could be our last chance. Let's give it our all. She's actually been excited to see foreigners, but she's never met these two. That's right. Excuse me, could we speak with you for a moment? Cersei, no. There's no way she'll want to talk to us if we're that forward. Foreign visitors, how unusual. And your names are Avi and Cersei? Welcome to Kamishima. My name is Kikuko. I'm an ama diver. Kikuko, the ama diver. Such a pleasure to meet a charming young lady in such a place like this. Charming young lady, you say? Oh my. Well, you're allowed to ask me anything you'd like. This jetty was built to break the waves, so fishing boats can come in safely and unload their catch. I suppose jet planes have nothing to do with it. No, not at all. The structure over in the distance is called a breakwater, built to keep the waves out. It seems it's also a popular fishing spot. Oh, wait. Oh. I can look at my items. Cursed stone bearing the course of the forsaken fish. Should I really be carrying this around? The Tama Tobacco. Sacred treasure of the mermaids. I haven't had the courage to open it yet. Mystery Koma's business card. I figured I might be able to use it later, so I held on to it. Give me 1 second, though. Sorry, I'm doing important investigation. Give me a second. Nope, okay. Looks like we've made a solid first impression. She seemed genuinely excited to talk to us. After all the lengths we went to, I refuse to leave this place without a few answers. Who would have thought? She seems like just bluntly calling out to her was the best approach after all. The image of a polite and reserved Japan that I've been holding on to for so long is starting to falter. Oh, Avi. So, you're an active AMA diver then. Are there many young divers these days? Not really. The younger generation doesn't really go for diving anymore. It just makes more sense to pursue a higher education. I see. It's a real shame to see such a long-standing tradition slowly fade away. Well, it is quite dangerous after all. You can't really blame them for choosing safer options. Just the other day, I heard 2 AMA divers went missing around Toba. Oh. That was my fault. Speaking of AMA divers, I heard AMA divers have a legend that if you go diving around here, there's a chance a Tomokazuki might emerge from the depths. Ah, Circe, enough with the ghost stories. You sure know a lot, don't you? You're right, it's a well-known legend. Not that I've seen it with my own eyes or anything. I don't know anyone who has either. Yous has. Huh. Maybe your Seimin endowment symbols have kept you safe? Oh, those? I don't have any. I don't really go into superstitions like that. Are you really okay without them? I think it's no more than an old tradition meant to remind us not to forget our gratitude and respect toward the sea. All those old-fashioned rules and traditions. Don't you think it's time for a reform? But isn't free diving close to Shinto ritual and spirit? Isn't showing reverence to offerings of the sea god crucial? Oh, you're pretty devout for a foreigner. I'm impressed. But you know, I believe it's exactly because of tedious customs like that that young people are losing interest in diving. We should keep up with the times, otherwise there's no way tradition will survive. Well now, that's very level-headed thinking. Maybe. Maybe it's I'm a part of that so-called new generation. Some people don't like my attitude, but I get the job done. Some of the young divers go to high school on the mainland and then work as AMA divers when they return home. I guess there's also that guy who just started working as an AMA here. I saw him earlier. I didn't realize men could become AMA divers too. It's not like it's forbidden. It's pretty rare though. This is the first time I've seen it happen. Interesting. User. This may be a bit out of nowhere, but do you happen to know anything? You don't happen to know anything about mermaids, do you? Huh? Mermaids? Oh, so you do know something? When you say mermaids, you mean mermaids, right? The mythical creatures? Precisely the very same. Rumor has it that this island houses some kind of secret connection to mermaids, but I haven't been able to ascertain whether it's true or not. So tell me, any mermaid secrets about? Are you really saying you came all the way out here to look for mermaids? More or less. So any information you may have would be a huge help. Sorry, I don't really have anything for you, but I do happen to be a little interested in mermaids myself. Fantastic. Another fan entranced by the mysterious. They say that eating the flesh of a mermaid will grant you immortality, right? That's right. Could you perhaps be interested in immortality as well? I guess so. Not for myself, though. Oh? So you mentioned that this island has some sort of connection to mermaids? More than just a little interested, are you? Well, in fact, right here in Issei Bay, there used to be... Wow, so mermaids used to live on this Taishima place? So you think there may be still some clues here in Kamishima that will lead you to the mermaids in Ryugu? Nail on the head and right on the button. Unfortunately, I can't say that I've heard any mermaid stories on this island before. Ah, pity. Oh, right. There's someone we're looking for on this island. Would you mind if we asked you about them? Sure, who is it? A woman named Mare Minakuchi. Ah, I see. See, that's exactly how everyone around here has been reacting when we ask about her. No, it's just... I'm sorry, but that woman died in an accident at sea 5 years ago. Ah, yes, we are well aware that she has passed away. Huh? Then why do you ask? Did she leave anything behind? Or was there perhaps someone who was close to her? Anything like that? Sorry, I've got no idea. No one on this island really knew her. although her son has just returned to the island. Actually, the guy I was talking about earlier, the new Ama diver, that's her son. Her son, you say? Now it's getting interesting. We'd certainly like to meet him. Do you know where he is? Sorry, no idea, but he's gotta be somewhere on the island. His name is Yuza Minakuchi. I'll give you his home address. You might find him there. Wow, thank you. This is invaluable information. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know why everyone is frantically dodging our questions about Mare Minakuchi, would you? Was she such a terrible person? It's something people don't really like to talk about. She didn't really fit in much with the other islanders, and no one knew much about her either. Why are you so interested in her anyway? Well, this is kind of a secret, but it seems that Mare Minakuchi had some sort of connection to the mermaids. Huh, you don't say. I see. So that's why. Oh, did you remember something? Not really. It's just that I always thought she was a little off. Almost as though she wasn't actually human. So you're saying Mari might not have been a human after all? That she was actually a mermaid? No way, I was joking. She was kinda weird, sure, but a mermaid? That's a bit far-fetched, don't you think? Right. Why did I feel that sudden urge to go to the jetty earlier? Thanks to that, we ended up running into Kikuko. She's the most approachable of all the people we've talked to so far by far. Maybe this time we'll actually learn something. It's a little sad to be this happy just because someone finally agreed to talk to us. I wonder who's to blame for that. What? You're saying it's my fault? Oh, come to think of it, I completely forgot about the still-tied mirror that Ikoma told us to look for. Guess I'll try my luck and ask. Oh, right, I just remembered. There is a particular mirror on this island that we're looking for. Do you happen to know anything about that? A mirror, you say? Well, you've come to the right woman. Oh, you know it? Luck is finally on our side. Could it be? You're talking about this? Ta-da! Goodness, that's the cutest mirror I've ever seen. This is the famous Kamishima souvenir, the Kamishimaru hand mirror. I have no idea it becomes so famous. No way. Could this be the... No, it's not the still-tied mirror, man. Definitely not. Right. Oh, this isn't the one you're after? Well, so since I've taken a liking to it, I'd love to let you have it. Consider it a memento of meeting today. What? Really? Lucky me. I mean, this will kill him, but I do want to take it. I do want to take it. Of course. Here you go. Take one too, Circe. Fantastic. You can't beat free. Thank you. Anyway, what we're looking for is actually a bronze mirror. A bronze mirror? You mean the type you'd see in history books? Yes, probably. Something like that. No, I can't say I know anything about that. Shame. The hand mirror we received from Kukiko. Apparently, this little turtle fellow is called Kamishimaru. I have never heard anything about a bronze mirror on this island. Oh, that reminds me. I got a glimpse of something inside your bag earlier. Was that by any chance the Tame tobacco? What? Sorry. I just happened to notice. And judging by your reaction, I'd say I'm right. Damn it! I didn't think it'd be noticeable! A glimpse alone shouldn't have given it away that it was a Tame tobacco. My initial guess was just a bluff, but my Avi's reaction confirmed it. Seriously, I'm sorry. What on earth? It feels like the air is completely shifted. Even the waves look heavy with tension. Oh, we're gonna die. Okay. I got a bad feeling about the way she's looking at us now. Kikuko, why the sudden interest in the Tamatabako? It's some kind of ancient mermaid treasure, right? My, you're well informed. Would you be willing to hand it over to me? I'll make sure it's worth your while. You see, I know someone who's ridiculously rich and in search of eternal life. They'd be willing to pay a small fortune for that thing. They'll offer the kind of money you'll probably only get to see once in a lifetime. So, what do you say? Slow down. Avi? Much more than some third-rate lighter like yourself could earn in a lifetime. Dunno what you could possibly need the Tamatabako for anyway, but wouldn't you like to move up in the world? I believe I understand your offer, Kikuko. But my answer is no, not a chance, no way, no how. It's never been about money, it's about the thrill of the adventure. Adventure? Exactly. Embarking on a journey to unravel the secrets of mermaid immortality. What better adventure could a man ask for? Then I mean, he's not in need of money. His family seems rich, he's fine. You may call me a romantic, but that's what I am, an adventurer at heart. You totally lost me. You're throwing this chance away for some childish adventure? You wouldn't understand. I've put my life on the line to find a mermaid. I'm not handing the box over. I see. It seems like there's no reasoning with you. Now I'm going to kill you. Alright, this conversation is over. It's a shame, but I gave you a chance. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'd still love to ask you some more things. Egots! A curse echo? No! Damn it! Eek! Ah! It hurts so much for talking. Arnav Barnum is dead. He is, yeah. You fuckled it up. Oh my! It seems you've met with a rather unpleasant fate. I did see that coming, though. It is merely conjecture on my part, but things seemed to be going quite smoothly up until Kikuko's true nature was exposed. The only one who could stop Kikuko from recurring this murders is Mr. Barnum, after all. However, it appears you were holding on to something that gave her the upper hand. I would recommend you dispose of that item before incurring her wrath. Do not fret. You may start a move from the moment the standoff began. Try again, thank you. Thank you, sir. I did that on purpose. Percy. Circe, pass me the hand mirror you received earlier. Huh? Oh, sure. And make that, and some of this. Ah. Ugh. Ugh. It'd be so much easier if you had it. Huh? Why'd you suddenly throw away the mirror? This would have been so much easier. Oh, the mirror? I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do. Why do you ask? Are things not going as planned? Ugh. I'm not sure what's going on, but I feel like we might have just narrowly escaped danger. Sounds like if we had that mirror on us, she would have been able to steal the Tamatabako. I'd like to get more information out of her, but it seems like she's plotting something. So, why don't you enlighten us? Who told you about the Tamatabako? Who knows? Think you'll get it out of me with that attitude? She still hasn't given up on the Tamatabako. There's no doubt about it. Kikuko wants to take the Tamatabako from us. But even so, the Tamatabako won't grant immortality without the flesh of a mermaid. If she has any other information about mermaids, we need it. Avi, focus. I need you to listen to me without taking your eyes off of Kikuko. Huh? Oh, got it. I'm pretty sure she has a curse stone. What? What's this all about? I couldn't tell right away because it was masked by the heavy veil of cursed energy that's all over the island, but on closer inspection, the cursed stone's aura is impossible to conceal. Huh? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. What if the condition to activate her curse
was holding on to one of those mirrors. Then we can relax, right? The condition isn't met.
Well, only if the mirror was all there was to it. As long as we don't know for sure what the condition is, we need to stay on high alert.
Hey, Kikuko, I'm going to let you in on a little secret.
Yeah?
Ta-da! What are the odds? Turns out we both got curse stones. This one is called the Curse of the Forsaken Fish. When its conditions are met, it transforms you into a fish and kills you. Pretty messed up, huh?
What? Avi, are you sure?
You were planning to use your curse stone on us to steal the Tamatabako, weren't you? But your curse stone requires us to have those little hand mirrors. Is that right? On the other hand, I can use my curse stone on you whenever I so please.
You're bluffing. Your curse stone must have a condition too.
Yeah, who's to say it hasn't already been met? Now, cease your scheming and tell us what you know.
Do you really have the resolve to kill someone with a curse?
Well, I'm not exactly keen on it, but I am prepared to defend my life if necessary.
Really? I wasn't expecting that from such a kind gentleman. You look like you wouldn't hurt a fly.
Indeed, my heart is pure, but trust me, I'm quite capable. Experience has hardened my resolve.
So you're saying you've actually used it before?
At this point, what difference does one more make to the tally, mate? My hands are already stained.
Damn, so you're a proper criminal. Maybe I should report you to the cops.
Be my guest. I wonder which is faster, my curse or your phone call.
Ugh. What about you? What about your lady friend? Well, are you okay with this? I'm afraid there's no restraining Avi. I've pretty much given up on him at this point. So it would be great if you just gave up and gave him the curse stone. What the fuck is this? You guys are absolutely insane.
Oh, come now. I think we can agree that we both have our issues.
Good. We're at a stalemate. Now I can try to extract some information out of her. Good job, Cersei, making her believe I've lost it. Very convincing. Actually, maybe too convincing. Does she really think I'm that crazy? Whatever. I've got more important things to focus on for now. Well, you did use the curse stone in Samikawa. Like, I feel like that was the thing that was going to happen regardless, but I can understand her opinion on that. Alright, look. It seems like I'm just as dead set on the Tamatabako as I am. This standoff won't get us anywhere. Why don't you tell us your motivation? Maybe we'll be able to find a compromise. Compromise? Say, for example, if granting your wish were to stir the spirit of adventure within me, I cannot hand over the Tamatabako, but perhaps I'd be willing to let you borrow its power of immortality. I've got no romantic tale for you. I told you, I just want to get that rich person what he's looking for, so he can see how important I am to him. That's all there is to it.
Oh, important, you say? How is that?
Because I'm his illegitimate child. Oof. But he simply refuses to admit it. Whatever I do, he wouldn't even acknowledge my existence. I mean, just look at me. I must be a disgrace in his eyes.
But a woman like me shouldn't be wasting her life on some backwater island. I was born of noble blood. I wasn't meant to rot in this miserable place. Yet he cast me aside and refuses to even acknowledge my existence. It's humiliating. So your father's some rich man? Yeah, there's hardly anyone in Isashima who doesn't know the name Yoshiatsu Yamashina. It's a noble bloodline stretching back centuries, and here I am stuck in this wretched life. Yamashina? I've done everything in my power to earn his recognition. I gave it my all to make it in the big city, and for what? Nothing I've tried worked out. In the end, I've had to come crawling back to this island to make some ends meet as an Ama diver. But I still keep telling myself that someday, somehow... I see. So you figured that since Yamashina is seeking immortality, you could leverage the box to get what you want at the same time. Yeah. I used to work at a small company. The young CEO of that place is basically Yamashina's prodigy. Oh, did she work for, No, that's you. I guess he felt sorry for me, so he let slip that Yamashina was after my mortality. Interesting. Was he the one who told you about the curse stone and the Tamatabako as well? Yeah. Ever since Yamashina doesn't know about this, he suggests I use it to my advantage and take the credit. He gave me the curse stone and told me to use it wisely. I knew it! Originally, I had planned on offering something different to Yamashina, but now that I've got my chance on the Tamatabako, that's my best option. Oh, how intriguing. You wanted to train the Tamatabako for Yamashina's recognition. That's right. See, I knew you were never going to find a compromise. True, it's a compelling story, but it's missing a certain adventurous allure. That company president you mentioned, how come he knew about the Tamatabako and the curse stone? And who exactly is he? Blah, blah, blah. I was wondering the same thing. Of course you are. He's an incredible person after all. Mr. Kipe Ikoma is an amazing man. It's thanks to him I've got a chance to make my dream come true. Oh. Did you just say Ikoma? Kipe Ikoma, you say? From Sala Planning? Huh? You know Mr. Ikoma? Indeed, I just met him the other day. In fact, I even have his business card. Huh? You have Mr. Ikoma's business card? Wait then. That business card you took out earlier was his? That's right. Want to see it? No. It's fine. You hold on to that. If you say so. Huh? Yeah. Palakas Asteri, guide his path and with thy merciful hand protect him. I didn't know I had to throw away that too. Why? You have Mr. Ikoma's business card. The conditions should have been met, but why? Yikes, I thought I was done for. You were. I'm sorry, all I can do is delay the curse. I can't dispel it. It's going to take effect in 1 minute, so you need to do something before then. Huh? Like what? A curse is dispelled by eliminating its caster. What comes next up is next to you. What? Eliminate? Why do I have to keep doing this? Shove Kikuko into the ocean. Ugh, damn it, I refuse to die here. What the? What's with you? Haha, she fell into the water. We must act fast. I retrieved the curse stone from the ocean. Are you alright, Avi? Well, I barely made it out alive, but I can't say I felt particularly good about it. So it had to come to this. No turning back now, it seems. That's what happens when you deal with curses. They might turn back on you at any moment. You should be prepared for that. Understood. So what about the curse stone? What's it like? Yeah, about that. Huh? A bronze mirror? That's right. A palm-sized bronze hand mirror. Wait. Don't tell me that the still-tied mirror was actually a curse stone all along. The curse stone's resentful memory doesn't seem to indicate anything like that. So this curse stone had a resentful memory too, huh? What did you learn? There's so much information, it's hard to make sense of it. Here, take a look for yourself. Don't just toss it to me like that. It's a curse stone, not a baseball. So you're not going to look? Of course I am. Let's see. Whoa, so this is the real deal. Oh, a mermaid. There's a mermaid on it. Biography of Tomoshige. Taira no Tomoshige's early life. Taira no Tomoshige was born the son of Taira no Kiyomori's younger brother, Yorimori, in the later half of the Heian period at the height of the Taira clan's power. Although his father, Yorimori, was the only child born of the official wife of Taira no Tadamori, the part of the main lineage of the Taira clan, he maintained a differential attitude toward Kiyomori, a stance that made Tomoshige regard him with contempt and fueled his ambition to one day stand at the head of the Taira clan. He also believed himself to be the rightly heir of Nukemaru, a famous sword that his father has inherited as part of his birthright. Sato, the girl from Kusawa village. At around the same time, Sato was living a simple life in Kusawa village, her place of her birth. One day she happened to encounter a visiting onmyoji and was offered the chance to work at the Bureau of Onmyo in Kyoto. Sato readily accepted having always been felt out of place in the village due to her faint spirit sense, and left Kusawa to work in the bureau of Onmyo as a maidservant. At the end of a certain year, Taira no Kiyomori's daughter, Noriko, gave birth to the imperial prince. Although Tomoshiga visited the palace with his father to celebrate the birth, he soon grew bored with the proceedings and left, only to encounter Sato, who was attending the odd jobs nearby. Tomoshige was intrigued by Sato, who made no attempts to curry favor with him, and whose thoughts he found difficult to read, and he frequently visited her from then on in. Not having yet an official wife, it was not uncommon for Tomoshiga to spend time on his dalliances with women, and Sato being the latest among them. However, as their interactions continued, he found himself becoming particularly drawn to her. He eventually had a pair of bronze hand mirrors made and gifted one to her, telling her to carry it with her at all times as a sign of their vow to each other. The fall of the Taira clan. In 1185, the Taira clan was defeated by the Battle of Dan no Ura, spelling its ruin. Tomoshige, who had fled from his place to desperately avert his eyes from the Taira clan's decline, ultimately did not participate in the decisive Battle of Dan no Ura, and came to know of the Taira clan's downfall while he was lying low in a remote village with Issei and Sato. Although initially terrified of being hunted down by soldiers in the Minamoto clan, Tomoshige regained his senses upon seeing Sato's unbroken composure. Now believing it lay with him to restore the Taira clan as one of the sole survivors, he swore an oath to his fallen clan that he would see it rise one day. Is Ippei a coma, Tomoshige? I'm like convinced Tomoshige is an 800-year immortal. Like, I'm convinced. The survivors of the Taira clan being hunted down from the country, Tomoshige continued to search for a situation to his advantage. In the process, he suddenly remembered the box that his grandfather, Tadamori, had left in family, a tama tobacco proffered by the fisherman that was said to contain the flesh of a mermaid. Although Tadamori had refused to accept it, a member of his clan had secretly hidden it in a storehouse back in their homeland. It was said that eating mermaid flesh would grant eternal life to whoever ate it. However, legend also had it that the meat was highly poisonous, with even a small bite being fatal. No one had wanted to eat it as a result, and it ended up being forgotten as the years went by. Believing that dying due to poison would hardly be any different from their fate when they were caught and killed, Tomoshige located the tama tobacco and pried open the lid. However, all that was inside was a dried sliver of meat, so served as to resemble a splint of wood. Dubious, Tomoshige pushed his misgivings aside and ate the meat, but felt no different from before. Believing the young years have robbed the meat of its power, and seeing the tama tobacco as the only clue to find a mermaid, he boarded a small boat with Sato and set out to sea. Okay, yeah, he is an 800-year mortal, alright. And that means he's also near the end of his lifetime, and he was definitely the one calling. Is it? Because they're not going to introduce a new character. Considering Ippei Ikoma, or Kippei Ikoma, sorry, Kippei Ikoma gave the mirror to Kikuko, he's definitely Tomoshige. Like, for surezies. Believing that a mermaid would come to reclaim the tama tobacco if it was truly linked to them in some way, Tomoshige continued to row the small boat to the sea of Issei. At the time, he was clad head to toe in the armor of a warrior, and had with him the famed sword of Nukimaru, an heirloom he had seized from his father Yorimori, whom he had scorned as a disgrace to their clan. Sato, meanwhile, wore only a light kimono. After they had rowed for a while, a sudden mist descended over the sea around them. Obscuring their surroundings as Tomoshigo and Sate looked around fearfully, they heard a small splash. Turning to look, the two gasped as they saw what appeared to be a human hand reach up to them from the water before grabbing onto the boat's edge. In a rush of water and being with human features from the waist down and fish-like features from the waist down emerged from the sea. A mermaid. Climbing onto the boat, the mermaid screamed for them to suddenly give back the box, before suddenly lunging at them. Too stunned to look clearly, Tomoshiga drew his sword and slashed at the mermaid. There was a dull sound of a blade slicing through flesh, and the mermaid let out a piercing cry before diving into the water and fleeing the area. Still trying to process the sudden turn of events, Tomoshiga glanced down and caught a sight of a small piece of mermaid's tail, apparently severed by his previous blow. Lying in a pool of blood, he picked it up, only to find it continued to twitch even as he held it. Finding himself too disgusted to try eating it immediately, he decided to stow it in the tama tobacco for present. Eventually, after some hesitation, he forced Pato to eat it despite her protests. They waited a while, but no change seemed to come over her. Thinking that the amount of mermaid flesh simply hadn't been enough, Tomoshige made to pursue the mermaid, but as he did so, he noticed that the mist around them had cleared. The two looked around. They realized the small boat was surrounded by ships belonging to a band hunting down the remnants of the Taira clan. Alarmed, they tried to flee, but with their attacks pressing in from them from all sides, were unable to find any means of escape. Amidst the chaos, Sato was struck in the head by an arrow and fell to sea.
Tomoshige, still determined to retaliate, continued to frantically resist with his sword. However, he was vastly outnumbered and, unable to break through his attacker's ranks, was ultimately cut down in a single stroke. On the brink of his death, Tomoshige's gaze fell down on the crests worn by his pursuers. Consumed by bigger regret of his failure to restore his claim, he directed the full brunt of his resentment toward these symbols as he sank beneath the waves, cursing his enemies and clinging to his vindictive hatred until the very end. So, is there like a timeline? So that means he wasn't? Interesting. A curse born from Taira no Tomoshige's feelings of malice and resentment when he was struck down 800 years ago following the fall of the Taira clan. Part of the clan's main lineage, Tomoshige had been seeking mermaid's flesh in a bid to obtain immortality, with the goal of eventually reviving the Taira clan, but was killed before realizing his dream. The curse uses a specific symbol as his target, and kills those who carry that symbol within the area specified by the user by cleaving them in two. Its effective range is several hundred meters.
So, this is the curse of Taira no Tomoshige that grew over 800 long years.
Taira no Tomoshige? Never heard of him.
He wasn't exactly what you'd call a historically important figure, even within the Heike. Seems he sought out the mermaid's power of immortality to restore the Heike, but his pursuit ended in failure. That resentment, it must have dwelled within Tomoshige's bronze mirror, eventually turning it into a cursed stone.
Most likely.
Then, the symbol on the hand mirror and the business card were the true culprit.
So that's what it was. If only we'd realized it sooner.
Well, what's done is done. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Kikuko mentioned she got her curse stone from Ikoma, right?
Exactly. To think that slippery snake was sneaky enough to put the curse markers on his own business card. That Ikoma guy is seriously dangerous. That was way too close.
Good thing we were cautious, especially since it seems he's after the Tama Tobacco, too.
Yeah, seems like working without him turned out to be the right call.
Though he may grow suspicious if he can't contact Kikuko anymore. Considering he's after the Tama Tobacco, there's a chance he might still chase after us.
We need to keep our guard up. I think it's safe to assume he already knows about Miss Somekawa and the Tama Tobacco.
I do wonder why he told us to look for the still-tied mirror, too.
Well, it's not this mirror, and we've got no reason to follow his orders anyway. I'd rather try to find out more about this mermaid as soon as possible.
You're right, we didn't learn anything from Kikuko.
Looks like we've got no choice but continue our investigation of the island. Shall we?
Could you hold on for a moment?
Huh? Someone's there!
Ah! Ah!
You.
Because we're missing stuff. We're missing stuff here. But it also, judging from what this says, it seems there were multiple state changes. I don't know. You know what? No, we're doing this. We're doing this. Sorry guys, I've made my decision. Oh. Okay, cool. Now let's continue. So what kind of curse do you possess? Dunno, don't care. Aw, come on, not even a hint. We, on the other hand, have laid pretty much all our cards on the table already. Huh? What are you talking about? Who would do such a reckless thing? Alright, look. Seems like you're just as dead set on the Tama Tobacco as I am. This standoff won't get us anywhere. Why don't you tell us your motivation? Maybe we'll be able to compromise. Okay.
Kipe Koma, you say, from Solid Planning. Okay. You have Mystery Koma's business card. We sneakily threw it away already. Oh, never mind. My bad, my bad. I must have left it at the inn. I can't believe this. Cersei.
What is it?
I figured it out. The condition.
Really? What is it?
It's hidden on the hand mirror all along.
What?
See, that symbol over there? I just couldn't shake the feeling that I had seen it before. It's sure enough, Koma's business card had the same symbol on it.
Oh, you're right.
This mirror is suspicious, and a business card with the same symbol as that suspicious hand mirror is equally suspicious. Simple as that.
Ah, so that's why you threw away the card earlier.
Oh, you noticed?
Either way, seeking Kikuko's reaction to hearing we have had one of this business card told me everything I needed to know. Enough with the whispering already.
The jig is up, young lady. The condition for your curse is the mysterious symbol inscribed on both the hand mirror and the business card. Ugh. You see, we have nothing more to fear. Cersei, your turn.
Apologies, I'm going to have to be a bit rough. You may experience after effects.
Ah! Ah! So I don't think killing her is the right option. And so, we managed to apprehend Kikuko Tsutsui. Apparently, Cersei's binding spell weakens those untrained in the spiritual arts and causes them to fall into a dazed, almost intoxicated state. Before losing consciousness, Kikuko quietly surrendered and handed over the cursed stone. Unfortunately, it appears she really knew nothing about mermaids after all. She didn't have any idea how Ikoma came to possession of a cursed stone either. To ensure she couldn't interfere any further, we restrained her at her home and made sure she would remain asleep for the time being. Much later after that night, we learned Kikuko's plan to massacre the island's residents using the hand mirrors she distributed. By sheer coincidence, our actions had also prevented a mass slaughter. Yippee! So what about the cursed stone? What's it like? So this all remains the same. Is there something new here? Working without him to be... Oh, sorry, I'm just double checking. Ah. Alright, so it looks like we may have to change it to Kikuko being dead for certain information. That probably changes what happens afterwards, but we still haven't fully completed it. So, okay, so... Interesting. I mean, either way, we do subdue Kikuko, otherwise Avi ends up dead. So, you know, it's pretty straightforward there. And then... There's probably benefits to killing her and then going forward as well. Or at least narrative, like, information and consequences. So, I mean, it seems like it's pretty easy to kind of change the state of effects. Just as long as you don't throw away the business card, we can still use the curse stone and all that fun stuff. So, but also Yumiko is right behind us. But she seems to wait for our move, because she does end up following us. Yeah, so I think that's actually where I'm going to leave it for today. We are definitely like in like the resolution of the game. We're like toward that end point for sure. And we're also getting more of like the route splits and those things, because a lot of the first part of the game wasn't really about that in any way. But now we're kind of running into interesting positions. So yeah, we'll see what we learn from this conversation next time, and see if maybe it is in our best interest to kill Kikuko and then see what that combo is. I'm not quite sure. But either way, we have subdued Kikuko, so that, you know, one way or another we do subdue her here. But the question is next steps. So yeah, that is where I'm going to leave y'all this time. I will see you guys next time. Bye!